Hey guys, welcome to another Iron Mike GT Sport FAI stream, and what a race we have for you today. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened, I didn't record the race during the race, so I don't have any onboard footage, so I'm using the replay to display the race. I don't know what happened. Anyway, so this is the Redbull race. I think it's group 4. Yeah, group 4, using the soft, medium and hard tyre. I'd done a number of lobby practices, and for me I just felt it was best for me to start on the hards, going on to the medium and then finishing on the soft. So my strategy was going to be 4 to 5, I think 5 laps on hard, 6 laps on medium, and then 5 laps finishing off on soft. The reason for that order is a bit like yesterday at the Laguna Seca. I didn't qualify, starting at the back again, and therefore, because I'm at the back, like everyone else with a full tank of fuel, I thought I might as well start on hard first. If I go soft, I've got a whole field to try and battle through, and I'm just going to wear out my tyres really quickly. So starting off on hards, once again using the replay for the race, so you won't be able to see these split times or like my brake balance or anything. So just to go over that, my traction control is 0, and so for the hards I'm using a +1 brake balance, which is 1 towards the rear. Mediums I'm going 4 towards the rear, and on soft 5 towards the rear, mainly because I found the front tyres would wear quite a bit. And fuel mixture, just fuel mix 1. This car can do the whole 16 laps without refueling, so I will have to pit twice to change tyres. So as you can see, I've started from the back, and very similar to the Laguna Seca, it was really a matter of just getting into the rhythm at first and just being patient. So again, here's a bit of cars fighting and bunching up, and yeah, just being sort of held up a bit, but I was fine with that. I was hoping a number of people would be on softs, and my hard tyres would be able to just go a bit longer, and their softs will wear out. Actually, look in the replay, I could see looks like the front runners, majority of them were starting on soft, and the occasional driver on medium, and the rear pack were pretty much starting on hards. I get a bit loose here. During practice I was fine with grip, so it was just all the adrenaline there that caused me to lose a bit of grip. That there in turn made me drop near the back. It's actually Gingerbread Man who's right at the back. He got bumped off into the sand pit halfway around the track. So just slowly, not as nervous as yesterday at Laguna Seca, but still very mindful of the other cars. Now you can see here just ahead on the left, there's the yellow Ferrari that's refused protocol, and on the right there, that is Hippie Slayer. These two seem to have an issue with each other. They always seem to bump and grind, and I noticed, not really during the race, but in the replay I was watching, they just seem to lock up their tyres. So refuse protocol, if you're watching this, I just want to just put it out there that, you know, try and work on looking after your tyres. You know, it's not a race to see who can wear out their tyres the quickest, but every corner you seem to just lock up, and if you're on softs, they're going to die within 2 or 3 laps. So really would hope that you look after them a bit better. Yeah, in the replay I was watching myself, and I would rarely burn up my tyres like Refuse Protocol is. So you can see here I've just given a little, I don't know why I did that, I was just getting a bit cheeky with him and just pulled up beside him. He's let me go, give me a bit of space, so it's up to me now to lead the way and not hold him up. He does seem to be very not in a nasty aggressive, but very aggressive, very hard up to corners, and then brakes hard, and therefore the locking up, just like what Hippie Slayer did just then. So I was a bit concerned he'd be flying up behind me in a corner. He's not a smooth, I just don't think he's a smooth driver. I just hope he learns to just smoothen that out a bit. Because if you kill your tyres a bit too quick, you're kind of being forced to pit, which can be time costly. So anyway, moving on, I've managed to get from 18th to 14th, and just now things are opening up, so just getting a bit of a rhythm. I'm still on hards. I don't know what the other people are on, but I was happy that I was keeping up with people. This was the second race of the day. The first race I entered and went into the warm-up, and then went through the qualifying. Someone else has just gone off, so I'm in 12th now. Yeah, went through the warm-up and just messed around again, like did an out lap and then a flying lap, but then pitted, so didn't put in a time. And as they were going through the lineup of the race, my internet dropped out again, which is strange. But I said to my wife, I'm glad it happened then and not near the end of the race, because if I was running well, I'd be quite annoyed. So better that things go wrong before a race, not in the middle or near the end. So again, yeah, you can see that he's just killing his tyres. So in 12th, just slowly climbing up. And I knew I'd done lobby races before, and I knew it was a case of, well, if you're on, oh, look at that. I thought I was going to rear end him there. I actually ended up sort of ghosting inside, and we just separate now. But I'd done lobby races, and I did see some people starting, you know, doing a different strategy, starting with softs. Obviously, if you're up the front, you want to get away, make a break, so that you can then move on to your medium and hards and try and stay out in front. And I knew that if I'm on hards, just if I'm falling behind, it's okay, because other people are probably on softs, and so if I'm on hards, it's alright. But I seem to be hanging in there. So a bit of bump and grind here. Now this guy in front, the HCR guy. He's looks like he's been in the wars, and then he sort of just goes out a bit wide here. So I thought, stuff it, I'll hold my line and go out, and he just comes back in. Gives me a bit of a knock, goes off track, and I'm lucky not to get a penalty. I think maybe a month ago I would have got a penalty for that, because there's a collision and he's gone off. Now Hippie Slayer has given me a bit of a bump draft. He was a bit trapped in there by Refuse Protocol, so that sort of helped me out, leaving them behind to swing their handbags at each other again. And so that's moved me, wow, I'm up to 8th already. So now I'm slowly catching, and I'm still on my hards. So I really sort of was a bit lost on what was going on. So I'm pretty much catching up to the front runners. And I guess ultimately everyone behind is busy battling away, and that's what slows them down. You know, so you really got to learn. So this is the flash in the pan guy. I've never raced against that guy before, but he qualified alright. And that's almost the end of him. His race is over. So into 7th, and there's a number of people I've never raced against, like this guy. Didn't know who he was. Don't know if he's a foreigner or what. Actually get a bit blinded there and go off track. Caught myself a half-second penalty, but not too bad. Could have been worse. You know, people just going out wide. It's incredible. So that's 5 laps done on my hards. So that's almost like chapter 1 finished. And I've made a lot of ground there. So having attempted my first race, which my internet died, I thought, some people will have learnt from that first race and they'll improve on the second. And I was surprised. This was my first race of the day, and I seem to be doing alright. So pitting in 8th place and coming out 16th. Now this is G. Andrew, who's just got past me here, so in the AGM Mercedes, which is pretty fast on the straight, so keeping in his slipstream is very helpful. You see him pulling away there. Unfortunately you can't see the split times, but it looks like there's a bit of a gap behind me. I was always worried on the corners that someone would just send it and just knock you off the track. But the whole race in general seemed to be pretty calm. Not too much dirtiness going on. So Andrew, he's pulling away quite a bit. So I've gone from hards onto the medium. And this really is the main part of my race, because the hards was only 5 laps. And then the mediums is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 5 laps again. So that's 10. So I'll be doing 6 laps on these mediums, and they perform pretty good. So the other thing is my brake balance for hards was +1. I've now moved it up to +4 because of the tyre wear. They're a softer tyre than the hards, and instead of doing 5 laps I'll be doing 6. And then by the time I'm ready to get onto the softs, my fuel load will be much less, so the car will be lighter, so less pressure on the tyres. Just trying to make sure that corner I've just gone around, I don't get too aggressive with it. I've gone over that little yellow sausage in the past and pushed a bit too hard and span out. So always had to be careful of that one. So back in 15th at the moment. So a bit of a drop since I pitted, but pitting on lap 5, didn't really pay attention to how many other people pitted, but obviously different strategies, different cars have different tyre wears, so you'll expect other people to be pitting soon. I just kept making sure that I was just pushing some more people going wide, fighting again, and it just doesn't help. There's more people pitting, moving me up from 15th to 13th. And everything just seemed to be going smooth for me. Again, there's like that, just, you know, going wide, and thank you, I'll have that. Everything just seemed to be smooth. I wasn't caught up in a web of of battling with people and getting pushed around and nudged off track and trying to claw my way back. Just try to make it as clean as I could. You know, being calm on the corners and then push hard on the straights. Now I do have cone markers. That's something I select for these races, and I'm hoping no, you don't really see them in this replay. But in the race, there are cones that I have set, and I found that with the hards, I would actually brake on those cones to make the corner. The mediums, I could actually go just a little bit past, and on the softs, I could actually go quite a bit further. So maybe mediums is 1 meter past those cones, and softs I could push 2 meters past those cones. Now this guy here, Green Dog, he we rubbed paint on the odd occasion, and I was concerned that it was going to start getting ugly, and that was lucky. Hippie Slayer was on the outside and wanted to get over into the pits, and Green Dog, I think it is, flew past and just missed him. So I've got past Green Dog. So we've already had a bit of a paint rubbing. It's just give me a bit of a tap there. Now I'm on mediums and they're fresh, so I've pulled over to the left here just to deny him a bit of slipstream, but he was slowly catching. I'm in the Toyota, and it's not the fastest car on the track. Top end speed is not the best, but I found the braking was pretty good. I could brake quite late and comfortably make a corner. So he's now gone off to the left on the outside, and I'm just braking a bit late. He's hoping I'll go a bit far and he'll dive on the inside, but he didn't get that. So here now he gets a bit nasty. I felt a bit of a push. Now that's not a lot, but considering we'd just been rubbing paint, I thought that was a bit of a step up in aggression. And so again, I'm a bit concerned. It's, you know, you feel like saying settle down. Let's not get nasty. So there, like you can see cars, they're just going a bit wide. Maybe they're a bit heavier. The Toyota 86, it's a bit lighter, and it's good on brakes like this. So I've just put him on the outside. He's allowed me to do that. He's gone a bit wide, and he gets himself a penalty. And I was a bit concerned he'd be a bit annoyed about that, but I thought, here's my opportunity. When you serve that penalty, I'm just gonna get past you pretty well. Just make sure I'm nice and close. So I was just keeping an eye on his driving line as I passed him, just in case he decided he'd go for a defensive blocking move. Just trying to keep an eye on him going around that corner in case he'd go in for a send it and punt. But I think he was on worn hards, and my mediums were just a little bit too good for his car. So you can see here I'm able to pull away. So lap 10, I'll be going up to finishing lap 11, so I'll have one more lap on these tyres. And so again, I started 18th. I pitted on lap 5 with the hards in position 8. I came out in position 16, and now I'm in position 6 at the moment, as more people are pitting. So I'm progressing, but again, this is one of those races where people are moving back and forth as they pit, which for me, I love that. It makes it very interesting. It's like, you know what, the race isn't over until it's over. Whereas other races in the past where there might not be any pitting at all, it's really qualifying that defines the race. And if you're up the front, then you're looking good, and if you're down the back, it's not looking good. Whereas a race like this, you can start at the back, and as long as you keep it clean and you have faith in yourself, you can push forward and make a charge. So this will be the final lap on my mediums. So you can see, like I'm saying, with the brake balance, I've got the brake balance at the moment on +4, and it's my front tyres that are really copying all the wear. And I was comfortable with in the braking zone, so +4 was good. And then when I go onto softs now, I'll move it to +5. So no fuel required. Got plenty of fuel. I think the Toyota could get up to about 22, 23 laps. Whereas we're only doing 16. Now this guy here, he's on fresh hards. I don't know what the hell he's doing. He's obviously not paying attention. And as soon as I pulled out the pits, I thought, oh my god, there's a loose cannon. This guy's all over the place. I thought maybe his internet was out. He gets a bit loose here again. He's not ghosting. I'll give him a tap and nowhere to go. It's got a half-second penalty, and I just thought, oh no, something's happened with him, and he's just going to punt. I was so concerned. But again, I just couldn't understand it. So this is probably his second lap on his hards. I can only imagine he only practiced on softs, you know, to get his fastest time. And then, yep, he's confident, he's ready, he's in the race, and now he's on hards, and he has no idea, you know, and he's driving like he's on softs. Because I watched the replay, and it was just, as soon as he put his hards on, it was madness. So lap 12, back in position 9. I didn't even notice what position I came out in. I think he's the only car I've overtaken, so I must have come out in 10th. And I did feel like I was driving very consistently. I mean, even that turn 1, you can go in a bit too hard and go out wide and get plenty of penalties, or just push it a bit too quick and similar to this corner and just spin it out. But yeah, I seem to be in the zone, I guess. But where would I finish? I had no idea at the time. I just knew that at this point, some people might have started on softs, and they're probably on hards now, or whatever tyre they're on. I just know I'm on fresh soft tyres, and so surely at the moment I've got the advantage over most of these guys in front of me. So whether they're on soft, medium or hard, they've been out for a while, and it's time for me to get past them. There's someone else pitting. So you can see the yellow Ferrari just ahead. That's refused protocol, and just in front of me here is Dirt Jumper NZ. Seems to... oh, it was in my race yesterday. Seems like a nice guy, clean. Goes a bit deep there. Didn't look like he was out of control, so I just get the feeling he just sort of got out the way for me. Too nice. Now here I actually give Refuse Protocol a flash of the lights just to let him know I'm behind him, and he indicates to say, you know, pass. There's another, you know, another nice move from someone. But I've got the tyres, and then as I'm passing here, here's G. Andrew, and he was a bit of a risky one, because we're getting up into the positions now where people desperately want to defend. We're getting up to the pointy end of the pack, and we're getting near the end of the race, and I was concerned there that he'd want to defend like hell. But you can see there I'm just starting to pull away. Again, the fresh soft tyres, and what he's on I can't remember, but I'm sure they're wearing out. So I guess it just goes to show, clean race and the right tyre and how long you're out on that tyre for. You know, you don't want to be out on the track just with dead tyres, whether they're hard, medium or soft. You know, you need to know where a tyre's breaking point is, and just, even if it feels good, you know, pull in now, pit and change tyre. And luckily we've now got 5 races, so if you've got the time to do all 5, you know, you can always have a shot at race 1. If it doesn't work out, make slight adjustments. But for me, that's what you know, lobbies during the week is for. You know, you do a few time trials on the track, and then you hop in a lobby and apply your art, what you've learnt. Alright, so penultimate lap we're on, lap 15. Position 5, building a gap behind me and trying to catch up to those in front. But I actually found, as I'm going through the race, I was a little bit disappointed, because the patience that I had at the beginning, waiting for my moment to get through, I was allowing people up front to get away. You know, and so I guess that's a lesson for me. It's good to be patient, but be careful not to be too patient, because, you know, you work your way up to, let's say, position 5, and then you find position 4 is 12 seconds ahead. So final lap now, and the guys up front, I actually think I was just slowly catching the guy in front. Was the Shape New Zealand, I think his name is. Just starting to catch him. And that Kronos Core, he's a foreigner, I believe. I've seen him before. I think he's a European. Probably highly skilled, and he's just miles ahead. And then we got Jeeters in second, and then Malevolent One, 666, in third. That's why I called him the Quiet Achiever. In this race, I was actually classed as a C driver. I was a B driver, down the bottom of the ranks, of course, but the first race, dropping out with the internet, I think dropped me into C. So anyway, final corners. And what happens here? Jeeters and Shape New Zealand, they didn't comply with all the tyre changes and copped a 20-second penalty. So That's moved me up to third, and I only just saw it at the last second. I realised, oh my god, I'm in third. I finished third. I was pumping the air. I was enjoying it. I was like, couldn't believe it. From 18th to third, I was loving it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Just like yesterday, you know, it's starting last and progressing to 8th. Yeah, that was good. But this race here, hitting podium, I did get a number of people in the stream saying well done. Not in the stream, but in the race. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing your races, and see you in the next one.